Good morning, friends, and welcome back to our Google Classroom. It is time for Read Aloud. So let me get started by presenting our Read Aloud screen. Gotta go backwards. It's important to remember that moms and dads do not record without the instructor's consent, and these are the PG County administrative procedures regarding appropriate use for technology. It's time to read a book. Come with me. It's time to read a book. Come and see. It's time to read a book. It's time to read a book. It's time to read a book. Come with me. And today we're going to follow our classroom rules by showing me 5. Eyes are watching, ears are listening, mouths are closed, your hands are in your lap, and you're going to keep your teacher happy by keeping your brains in your head to answer all the questions. Before we get started reading, we are going to dance to our song. We're going to dance to our song.
What's this? It looks nice.
Dance like a zoo animal.
Who's at the zoo? Who's at the zoo? Who's at the zoo? Let's see. It's the elephant. It's the elephant.
Elephant. Can you move your trunk like an elephant or stomp your feet like an elephant?
Who's at the zoo? Who's at the zoo? What's that?
It's a giraffe. Can you bend your neck and drink some water like the giraffe? Who's at the zoo? Who's at the zoo? It's a zebra. It's a zebra. Oh, it's a zebra. How about you? It's a zebra. Who's at the zoo? Who's at the zoo? Who's at the zoo? I lost my zebra.
It's a lion.
It's a lion.
I love the lion.
How about you? It's a lion.
Who's at the zoo? Who's at the zoo? Who's at the zoo? Let's see.
It's a tiger. It's a tiger.
I love the tiger. How about you?
The tiger
Who's at the zoo?
grooms itself
Who's at the zoo?
like a cat.
Who's at the zoo? Who's that? It's a rhino.
It's a rhino. Rhino goes charging. Charge.
Who's at the zoo? Who's at the zoo?
Who's
at the zoo? Let's see. It's a monkey.
Oh, the monkey.
I love
They
the monkey.
swing.
How about
They
you?
swing.
Who's at the zoo? Who's at the zoo? Who's at the zoo? What's that?
It's a penguin. It's a penguin.
I love the penguin.
Do you like the penguins? The end. The end. So these are the type of animals that we have been learning about all week. And today we're going to read a story that is Curious George Goes to the Zoo. Curious George Goes to the Zoo. The author is Cynthia Platt, and the illustrator is Mary O'Keefe Young. And who can tell me who writes the words of the book? The author writes the words of the book. And who draws the pictures in the book? The illustrator draws the pictures of the book. And who makes it into a book? The publisher makes it into a book. And the publisher is Houghton Mifflin Harcourt. It was published in 2011 in Boston and New York. And it was written by Cynthia Platt and illustrated by Mary O'Keefe Young. And this page here is the love page, and that's also known as the dedication page, which means that the author and the illustrator dedicated this book to their dad and the trips to the San Diego Zoo, and for Bridget, my inspiration. This is George. George is a good little monkey and always very curious. Today, George was feeling very excited. There's that letter E for excited. The man with the yellow hat was taking him to the zoo. There's the letter Z for zoo and M for monkey. As they drove, the man explained to George that this wasn't just any zoo that they were going to visit. It's called a wild animal park, the man said. All the animals roam around freely. When they arrived, George saw a huge banner. George looked up at it, but he could not read the words. Can you read the words? It says, "Come celebrate our party, Baby Rhino's first birthday." A friendly zookeeper explained, "It's an extra special day here at the Wild Animal Park," she said. "It's our baby Rhino's first birthday. We're going to have a party for her later on." A party? This is going to be a wonderful trip to the zoo. George tried to walk into the park where the animals were, but the zookeeper stopped him. "You can't walk in there. To explore the zoo," she said, "you have to ride in one of our special cars." She pointed to the huge car that had no roof on it. "Oh my, what fun this is going to be." George and his friend climbed aboard and the car drove into the park. Soon they were in the midst of the wild animal park. "Look over there," said the zookeeper. "There's our pride of lions. We have a large family here." George pointed in the other direction. "Yes, George," said the zookeeper. "I see the giraffes too. Their tall necks help them eat leaves from the treetops. And there are 2 ostriches running this way." George was happy to be seeing so many amazing animals. The zoo car drove past a small pond. Pink flamingos waded in the water. Their heads bopped up and down as they walked on their spindly legs. "The flamingos turn pink because they eat so many tiny pink shrimp," said the zookeeper. But George was not listening. He had never seen flamingos before. He was curious about how those flamingos were moving. He leaned out the back of the zoo car as far as he could to take a look, but then, oh, what happened? First, George lost his balance, and then he fell, ker-plunk, right out of the zoo car. His friend hadn't noticed that he had fallen. George ran as quickly as a little monkey could toward the pond. The flamingos bopped their heads and lifted their feet one at a time. It looked like they were dancing. George danced with them. Suddenly, the water in the pond started to move. Then a hippo popped its head out from under the water. What a surprise! George stopped dancing to take a look. The hippo opened its huge mouth as if it were yawning. George opened his mouth too. It was fun to act like a hippo. Just then, George noticed that something was rustling in the reeds near the pond. George was curious. He wanted to see what that was, what was there. In an instant, he jumped over the reeds. He poked his nose inside and saw a baby rhino. The tiny rhino was cute, but she looked a little bit sad and a little bit lonely. And the fun thing about Epic Books is you can click on the word and it will highlight what it means. Rhino. It's a noun that means rhinoceros, which is a type of animal. He jumped and bobbed his head and danced his feet up and down. George wanted to make that baby rhino feel happy again. He thought and thought. Maybe the rhino would like a flamingo dance. Why do you think the rhino's sad? The baby rhino peeked her head out of the reeds so that she could watch. George danced more, and the rhino walked out of the leaves. She was curious too. They were having so much fun that George didn't notice what was behind him. Who do you see there behind him? The zookeeper. The zookeeper stomped over to George. She did not look happy. The man with the yellow hat was running behind her. You are a naughty little monkey, said the zookeeper. You were supposed to stay in the car. You and your friend will have to go now. George walked to the man's side. He waved goodbye to the baby rhino. The man and the zookeeper turned to see whom George was waving to. The baby rhino! Why, we've been looking for her all day, said the zookeeper. She got separated from her mother. Oh, so do you think that's why maybe she was sad? Because she was missing her mommy? George was glad to see the zookeeper looking happy again. He and the man started walking toward the exit. The zookeeper ran to stop him. Thank you for finding our baby rhino, George, and just in time for her birthday party. Will you join us for cake? George jumped for glee. He had forgotten about the party, and he did love cake. The man and George followed the zookeeper and the baby rhino back to zoo headquarters. The rhino's mother was waiting there for her. And just then, the zookeeper brought out a special birthday cake that was shaped like a rhino. George had never seen a cake like that before. You can have the first piece, George, said the zookeeper. I also have a special treat for you. And she placed a bunch of bananas in front of him. George was very happy to have a tasty banana, but he saved room for some cake too. And this page says, are you curious about the animals? It says hippopotamuses can live in water or land. On a hot sunny day, though, they prefer to use water or mud to cool themselves off. It says here flamingos can stand on just one foot for long periods of time, though no one knows quite why they do it. Giraffes are the tallest of all the land animals. Their long legs and neck help them grab and eat leaves from high up in the trees. Lions live in large families called prides. They are fierce predators with canine teeth more than 3 inches long. And here it says ostriches are the largest of all the bird species. Though they can't fly, they are very fast runners, hitting speeds of up to 45 miles per hour. That's as fast as a car. And rhinoceroses have horns on their nose that look very powerful. The horns are made of materials similar to fingernails, though. Like fingernails, they can grow back if it's cut off. That's something new that I learned today. And we're going to finish our book and see how many points we earned. It says here that we read for 37 minutes and we've earned a total of 125 points. Good job, boys and girls. We're going to go back to our read aloud presentation. And we're going to ask some questions. So what made the animal park different from other zoos? In other zoos, animals are behind a cage. But in this animal park, it was where animals could roam freely. Who was having a birthday party? Was it the flamingos or the lions or the ostrich? It was the baby rhino. Here's a hard question for you. What is a family of lions called? Miss Tricia said that word 2 times in our story today. Once while she was reading and once at the end. A family of lions is called, it starts with a P, a pride. A family of lions is called a pride. And what animals did George find in the pond? He saw the flamingos, and he even ran into a hippo. And who can remember why did the flamingos turn pink? It's because they eat a lot of shrimp, isn't it? And what was the animal that was hiding in the leaves in the pond, rustling in the reeds near the pond? It was the baby rhinoceros, and she was sad because she had gotten lost, and George helped find her. So moms and dads, you can answer those questions with your students and have them write the answers, take a picture and send it to us. If you're having a hard time getting on Google Classroom, you can feel free to send it to us on Dojo. And here's an additional assignment for the day. Make sure you create 3 sections on a piece of paper and label them beginning, middle, and end. And then think about the important parts of the story and draw a picture within each section showing the sequence of events that show what happened in the story. And upload your work to Google Classroom. So at the beginning of the story, they went to the zoo. And then in the middle, George fell off the car and he was dancing like the flamingos. And at the end, he found the baby rhinoceros and they went to the birthday party. So now it's time to talk about our letter of the day. And we are going to practice writing our letter E first. And then we're going to have some time to write words that start with the letter E. So let's watch our video. Learning to write the letter E. I don't know if you guys can hear that. You start at the top, make a straight line all the way down to the bottom, go back to the top, straight line out to the side, straight line out to the side, go to the bottom and do a straight line out to the side. Good job. Let's do that again. Start at the top, straight line down, go back to the top and draw a straight line out to the side, go to the middle and draw a straight line out to the side, go to the bottom and draw a straight line out to the side. Good job. Now you try. Good work. Now let's practice write lowercase e. Start near the bottom, draw a straight line out, and do a curved line all the way around. Let's try it again. A curved line all the way around. Now you try. Now you know how to write the letter E. All right. So now we're going to write some words that start with E in our picture, and you guys can take a picture and send it to us. So how about egg? Egg. And elephant starts with E. We see elephants at the zoo. Elephant. An eagle. You'll even see an eagle at the zoo in the bird exhibit. Exhibit is a word that starts with E. Eat. Excited. And this is something that's very important to do every day while we are in quarantine. Exercise. So you're going to get a piece of paper and write the words and practice writing the letter E. Make sure you take a picture of it and send it to us. So here's the instructions for writing time. Write your name, write the letter E, write a word that starts with the letter E, say the word that makes the letter E, and take a picture or a video and send it to us. And thank you and have a good day. You are a writer. Good job, friends, and many thanks for joining me for Read Aloud today. I will see you later for math time. Have a good day.